What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today, BCH USD. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. It is the 27th day of February, and here we are sitting at about $468. Shout out to the Dragon Riders and the House of the Dragon, of course. This week we are down about 18%, which is pretty crazy, pretty not fun to look at, right? We've got 2 days and 11 hours left in this week. We are certainly not getting our monthly close green at all now. Wow, we've actually flipped red, and we're not getting the green close above this high point, right? Our goal is probably not going to happen. 1 day, 11 hours left. It's possible. I think Bitcoin's going to continue to drop over the coming days. I think the rest of the market's going to continue to drop over the coming days. And I think anything, even something as bullish as Bitcoin Cash, is going to have a hard time moving up in that time. So, with that perspective, let's prepare for lower prices. From a low, that's is that yeah, I think that's a fair low to take. Low to high. Go on the 1 hour time frame here. Let's see. I don't know what just happened. There we go. We've gone down to the golden ratio and found resistance at the 382.5 area. Now, typically you will find resistance in this area, but if you get above it, if you get above the 382, typically that means you're going higher. So it's really disappointing to see that we got just above the 382 only to come back down. It kind of looks like a head and shoulders, actually. Like this, it kind of does, but not really. I mean, yes, like a slanted head and shoulders, kind of. It almost behaves the same. The volume's wrong, but anyways, came back down. Typically, whenever you hit the golden ratio, you hit this zone, and then you come back to the golden ratio, you do go lower to the 786, 886, if not below that even. We look at the RSI, certainly bearish right now, right? We've got our lower lows, our lower highs. It's not a perfect channel. There's a blemish here or there, depending on how you want to draw it, but definitely bearish. So are the stochastics, and the MACD also is bearish, starting to build bearish momentum. You're below the zero line with your oscillators. Looks like you want to come back down. I mean, maybe to these levels, who knows? And with that, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw an overall lower low. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. We don't have to go below this low. I think, should I take this high or should I take the, let's just see, hold on. I think I should take this high. I think that's the high I should take. We don't have to go below this low. There is a chance that we could hold 450 to 440 as support. There is a good chance that we could find support there. But what we want to see is support here and then getting back above the golden ratio, getting back above 478. Okay, if we can't get back above there, if we find resistance there anywhere below, and we come back down to these levels, at that point it's very certain, it's very likely that we do go down to levels that are below $400. And if that happens, let's actually continue on this train of thought. I'll come back to the 4 hour time frame in a second. Let's imagine here that we come all the way down here. Okay, let's see. Let's just put a line. I'll remember. I'm just going to delete it all and then redo it, actually. Let's see here. Low to the high. Oh, but not the fake out high. That's right. Okay, good. That's actually, or no, it is. Okay, there we go. If we were to go down here, it would be in this level. Somewhere in this area. Again, I'm not making the call yet that this is where we're going to go. I'm just running with the idea of what would happen if we did see a lower low there. Okay. What that might look like. We've got lower lows connecting the dots down here. Let me see. Hold on. There's so much stuff going on right now. Hold on, guys. There we go. Let's see. Trend line. Take this. Connect the dots down. That seems like a far August 2026 to get down there. Yeah, I don't think so. So that would be problematic because then we are breaking this structure here, which in itself isn't necessarily catastrophic for Bitcoin Cash. It is a little bit catastrophic for this range here in the dynamic that we were expecting. We were expecting to break out to the upside, not the downside, and a move below this low right now would likely suggest a break of this range to the downside. But again, we're still in this overall range that we've been in for, I mean, almost 2 years at this point. almost 2 years. So here, it's still very likely that we hold a higher low and we still maintain bullishness. We'll still return back to these prices and grow and all this stuff. It's just not happening in the time that we've expected it or desired it to happen. This would be the zone to target for support if we did see a lower low. There is a lot of resistance here. There's some support here. There's some support here. There's resistance throughout this area here. There's a little support right there. Makes a lot of sense. It honestly makes a lot of sense for a suitable area to find a low. And again, we get a higher low nonetheless. If we take this from a low to a high, it's just above our 382 area. Maybe we could come back down to the 382. We could go even a little bit lower than what I'm expecting. But again, in the macro sense of things, I don't think Bitcoin Cash is in any kind of jeopardy right now. But in the short term, maybe even the midterm stuff, we are in jeopardy of breaking out of this range to the downside. If, let's see, get that fib back on there. If we go below $440. 440 is the line that needs to hold. If that breaks, likely we're going here. And if that breaks, that means we are probably breaking out of this range to the downside, right? Anyways, let's get back to the short-term stuff. That's enough scary campfire stories for the day, I suppose. We are dropping on the 4 hour. You can see here we've got lower lows. Here's a little bit of exciting news. There's no volume coming in. And we're on Coinbase, one of the biggest exchanges for Bitcoin Cash. Let's look at BCH USDT on Binance. Bitcoin Cash can move up while Bitcoin and the rest of the market moves down. We've seen it happen before. It's just not likely, and not likely to persist either. Like, sure, if everything dumps over the coming days and Bitcoin Cash pumps, that's great, but will it persist? Will it just come back down? What was I going to do? We have bullish divergence on the RSI, bullish divergence on the stochastics. Technically, we have bullish divergence on the MACD. There's no volume, man. No, that is actually very encouraging, guys. I'm happy to see that, I have to say. See, that's why we start with the bad news first. And none of that was bad news. None of that lower stuff was a call that I was making. Again, I haven't officially made that a call. I was just addressing the scenario and how it would likely play out if we hit certain markers to the downside. That's all it is, right? It's important, I think, to address the scenarios so that you're at least aware of the possibilities. But right now, I have to say, I mean, looking at the 4 hour, looking at the 1 hour, definitely bearish. But man, the lack of volume is somewhat encouraging. We'll see. 2 hours, 30 minutes left in this 4 hour candle. You're really just starting to break below here. We'll see if that volume comes in. I mean, 2.5 hours goes by, guys. We really could see some volume come in and some size to the downside. But still, we have this bullish divergence, and even still on the MACD as well. There's definitely reasons to not be totally pessimistic here. We're right at the oversold zone, perfect area to bounce. Bitcoin Cash actually on the RSI loves to bounce right around here. I mean, typically, let's see, let's go all the way back. I mean, to June of 2024. Let's just see. It's not that it doesn't happen. It's not that we can't get deeper, but typically, look at the bounces. Look at where you're bouncing right around this oversold area. It's statistically speaking more likely that we bounce from this area than we penetrate below it. Should we penetrate below it, we will see a little bit of a movement down, right? We'll probably see something a little bit more dramatic. There is a chance that we could hold this line of support still. The reason why I think there's a chance we could hold this line of support, maybe I shouldn't have been so bearish on that $484 level. Let me just go over this real quick. I'm going to backtrack for a second, you guys. From a low to a high, the 886 needs to hold, right? That's what I was saying. $440 needs to hold. I don't know why I said 484. $440 needs to hold, because if not, statistically speaking, you go to the 12721 There are moments, there are times, and again, typically does not mean always. There are times, and I've seen it happen plenty of times. I've showed it happen on this channel before, where we were expecting to go to the 12721 area, but instead, all we did was we found a slightly lower low, and then we bounced in a totally obscure area that doesn't make sense, but hey, it happens. Sometimes that happens, right? Technical analysis is not perfect. It never will be. That's not the point of it, right? If you want perfect predictions, you need to find a psychic who's really good. You know, you need to find a crystal ball. It's to give you a statistical advantage. But the reason why this line might be so important is because this line goes back, and I'm going to try something weird here. Let's just see if it works, but I'm going to extend the line to the left. We go on the weekly time frame here. Let's see, maybe on the monthly time frame. No, that's not the line. Okay, let's do this then. And now we'll extend it to the right. Take that extension away, right? 4-hour time frame, sure. Daily time frame, let's do that. I mean, just look at where these lines intersect, right? This is the line that I sent backwards going left. This is the line that's connected from those two macro highs. You could drop even below this line, technically, even below, and I'm going to change the color here. Change the color for you, and maybe get rid of the extension so it's easier to see. Right? You can break below the white line that connect this point here and this point here. You can break below this and still find support on the green line, which again, the green line is the overall connection of this massive, massive trend that we've broken out of. Again, you zoom in, you look at the short-term stuff, it seems somewhat bearish right now, and it is. We probably do go a little bit lower. And we could even see lower lows relative to this, not relative to this. And it's still bullish. Like this, you zoom out, you look at this, guys. This is one of the most bullish charts that we have right now, not just in crypto, but like stocks, commodities, anything. Like this is a very, very bullish chart right now. So I know that we're dropping. I know we're down 18.5% this week. Bitcoin Cash is volatile. Always has been, but look at the lack of volume. Look at the lack of volume to the sell side, guys. All the volume's coming in when we move up. None of the volume's coming in when we move down. We're at serious areas of critical support, I would say. And if we go lower, we still have that for a solid bit, right? As long as we're not going below, I know I said 440. I would like it if we held 440 just for the purpose of the fibs. But as long as technically we're not below, let's see, what level would that be? It's about like 416, 420. Then I think we're good. Looking at the daily time frame. Very encouraging with the lack of volume on the selling here. Volume was picking up a little bit. Look at the volume. The biggest spikes, though, were the buying pressure, not the selling pressure. It's rather encouraging, right? The largest spike here was this red one, but that was a big, big wick to the downside. There's a lot of buying pressure, guys. Bitcoin Cash seems to be protected. I'm actually very, very optimistic on Bitcoin Cash. I'm not so optimistic on Bitcoin right now. Maybe that's my bias. But there's actually like potential for bullish divergence here on all these indicators. Looking at the daily time frame, again, we typically do bounce at this area on the RSI. The stochastics are reset. Let's just observe real quick. Okay, I'm not going to go through every single example, but maybe just the ones that we can see right here. Right, we got oversold here. We got oversold here. I'm just going to go from the first moments we got oversold because that's what we're doing right now. We started to get oversold here. You were at the oversold zone there, but you're not like in it, right? You bounced off of it. It's kind of a different reaction. I don't want to count that because then we're just going to count so many of these. I'm going to say this might have been the beginning of you getting oversold, but this is kind of a weird reaction. And here we are now. Let's just go over these. You can go over all these if you want, but I know, I mean, and I think we all know just by looking at this, these are low points. They're going to be low points, right? Like right there where you bounced off, oh, that was a low point. Right there where you bounced off, oh, that was a low point. So it's very, very obvious. I want to see what happens, though, when we get into it just a little bit. Obviously, there's a low point. Could have expected that because of the bounce, of course. Got down here. Was this the low point? No, you did go lower, but only slightly. Only slightly. This was not the low point. You did go lower, but again, only slightly. Then you pumped. Well, and inevitably you went lower. Inevitably you did go lower, but that's you know, hopefully we'd be able to see that or forecast that from here or from here and be able to understand that right ahead of time. You can be bullish here and then flip bearish. You know, hopefully we would catch that before it happens. Here, whenever you got oversold in the stochastics, was that the moment that you're at your low? No. And actually here you did not find support really. You actually did continue to go lower. But with this moment, your RSI was higher. It was like here at that line, where here you're actually in the oversold zone. Your actual lows here came in when you were basically here in the oversold zone, and your stochastics were oversold. So we actually have right here more in common with this area than I would say we do with this area, to be completely fair. So that one odd one out, again, we're not seeing the same readings that we saw back here during that one odd one out. Also, we were crossing below the zero here. Where here we're rejecting the zero. I guess that's pretty bad, but we've already seen the move down from that, right? Where here, when you cross below the zero, you had not seen the move yet. We saw a very similar move here. I'm calling for it, guys. And I hope I'm not wrong. I don't think we have much lower to go. And I do believe much more now than I did in the beginning of this video that this low prevails. Even if it doesn't, as long as we get a slightly lower low, again, as long as we're not going below like $420, $415. I mean, if we go to 416, we bounce right there. I guess it's good enough. It'd have to be a pretty severe bounce for me to not be panicking. But I actually have a lot of faith that we hold this low as support. So that's the call, higher low. We are, again, interacting with the golden ratio for the second time, once, twice here. You guys know how I feel about that. So what I'm calling for, if I'm calling for a higher low, would be that we do find support here at the 786, 886, which is 453 to 440. If we don't hold support there, I'll make a video and we will go over the new plan of attack, okay? Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Buy the dip, man. Doesn't seem like anybody wants to. That's how you know it's a good time to do that, right? I want to see what the crypto fear and greed index is saying. Come on, 16. Pretty low. Pretty low. We can go lower. Hit that like button. I'll see you guys on the next one. Prepare for some downside volatility probably over the next at least 2 days, like over the weekend. It could even go into the next week. I have been saying, and we got a little bit excited yesterday, but again, the expectation largely has been for most of this month that March will probably open up to the downside. We'll probably see that. I don't expect it to be long-lived. Maybe just the first few days. Maybe the first week entirely. Tomorrow's the end of February, so first week of March possibly, right? Just prepare. It's not going to be exciting for the coming days, right? But once we find our low, hopefully things get exciting there. Take care. Bye-bye.